Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Office Hours Live. So if you're new to our Facebook group or you're new to Zenler, this is our weekly live show where the team are here to run through a few things with you, show you around some of the resources we have available, and also to answer your questions live. So if you are watching live, then hashtag live and where you're watching from. We do have a global community here at Zenler for Zenler users. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay, same premise, put in what country you're watching from. We do switch office hours around each week. So this week we're at 5 p.m. BST. Next week it will be 10 a.m. So we try and capture as many people in a 2-week period live as we possibly can. Now, as always, I've got the team with me here. So welcome to Rakesh and David. Good afternoon, guys.
Hiya.
We always start the show off the same way, and this is one of the most important areas to look at, and that's the changelog, which Rakesh will show you in a second. And this just goes through some of the updates that have happened over the last week or two, just letting you know what's being developed on the platform and maybe some of the new features that have come out or are coming out. So, Rakesh, if you'd like to show us the changelog for this week, please.
Cool, surely. Thanks, Kevin. I'm just going to share my screen. Just put my screen off. Cool. So yeah, so this at Zenler we are constantly adding features and we are constantly refining the platform. So at bit.ly/nz changelog, you can see all the changes that happen that we ship weekly. So you can see all the changes that goes in. So the recent last week, we had a few changes going in. So there was an issue regarding video thumbnails that was fixed, and Zenler API. So for those who are using the Zenler API, we added a few features for that. So with the API, now you can get all the upcoming live classes, the list of all the upcoming live classes. With the API, you can also get all the upcoming live webinars, all the entire list you can get using the API, especially useful if you're using API to connect and get all the information. And you can also, with the API, you can also register a student into the live class, and you can register a user into the live webinar. These are the changes that has gone in last week, and probably not so much of relevance to most of you guys because it's only relevant for people who are using the API. And let me see what is coming up. Yeah, so what is coming up is enrollment limits. I think a lot of people have been asking us, can we add a limit to number of students enrolled on a particular course or number of students enrolled on a particular pricing plan for a course? This is soon coming up, so you will be able to set enrollment limits for a course or a course pricing plan once it is out. And the next one coming up is you can also so for all the pricing plans, there's lots of text that were missing from languages, site languages. We are now adding all of that. So where it says, payment plan, 3 payments of $10 each and so on, all of that was missing in the site languages. So now we're going to add that as well. And of course, we are going to be soon adding live pricing, so where you'll be able to sell your live webinars and live classes just like you do for courses. And that's a game-changing feature. And again, we are also working on adding a live class lesson type into a course so that you can, without any registration, your students can view or attend your live class right inside your course player, right inside your course. And they're also going to be reminded if the webinar is coming up, if the live class is coming up in 1 hour, there's going to be a little pop-up that says, hey, your webinar or live class is starting in 5 minutes or 30 minutes and so on. I think that's pretty much it from the changelog side. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you very much. And remember, whilst the team are working on all of these new features, they're still maintaining the systems. They're making sure that it's all working smoothly. So when we log in and we want to go to our sites, they're still operating as they should do, which as the system grows is still a task for them to do, and they do a phenomenal job. They're the unsung heroes of Zenler, without a shadow of a doubt, the technical side of the team. They do a really brilliant job. You're in the Facebook group right now watching this live, and we do understand that when you come into New Zenler for the first time, there's quite a lot of stuff to look at. Now, I will go through some of the things as new people you can go and find. And this is really important. Even if you've been here for a while, we do move stuff around now and again, and stuff does look a little bit different. So in the Facebook group, we have a couple of areas for you to go and look at that are really important. The first one is along the top of the group, we have an announcements tab. This is where we'll mark stuff up that we deem important for you to take notice of. So this could be office hours, it could be events, it could be feature releases, it could be any of those types of things. It's always worth just every now and again popping in there, just going having a look. Well, Wednesday's on there, you know, see if there's anything that you might have missed in the busy feed that you've skirted over. The second one is, as you go,
sorry, I think Kevin's audio has gone. So I'll just quickly carry on until Kevin gets his audio back. Are you there, Kevin?
I think for a moment, I think his audio was off.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your audio just stopped for a minute.
Oh, sorry.
But we're live, you know. Carry on.
Live and uncensored. But yeah, feel free to jump in if I go quiet again. So along the top, if we go to the more area, we'll see the events under there. I'm going to try and switch that so it's in the main part of the top of the Facebook group, because it is a little bit hidden, but this will show you upcoming events that we're putting on for you that are normally live events. A lot of these are done within the Facebook group, but some of them will be out in the tutorial site as well. So Zen Chat Live, for example, you have to go off. We run that as a live class in our own Zenler site. So, but we've got office hours there. We've got the Confident Course Creator Bootcamp that's going to be happening next week. But you can just click that you're going to these. That means you'll get a lovely little Facebook reminder just to remind you, you know, it's coming up in an hour, just in case you've forgotten, because we do get very busy and we forget we've intended to go somewhere and then we forget where we've seen it or where to find it. And Facebook does a really great job at hiding things at times. So it's a really useful place to go and look. The next resource we have for you is the tutorial site. So tutorial.newzenler.com. This is the new homepage for the tutorial site. So we've sectioned it out, sort of like the Netflix of New Zenler. And you can just go and pick the bit that you need at the moment, because you might be a seasoned veteran at Zenler, you're building in some more detailed areas into your site, and therefore you want to go and search in the masterclass to find one particular element you're looking for. You might be brand new to us, and therefore you want to look at the quick start guide. That's the one that we always tell people to go in first, because that helps you set your sites up. So it's really easy from the homepage just to go along, pick the areas that you want to focus on at that particular time. If you want to look for what boot camps we've got coming, there's the boot camp area, and then we've got the extras. So there's lots for you to look at. And of course, all of this is with our compliments. There's no charge for any of these areas. Our last area is YouTube. So head on over to YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell. That means you'll be notified when new videos go up on the YouTube channel. Now, there are videos that only go on to YouTube. So if you're thinking, well, I'm in Facebook and I'm in the tutorial site, I won't bother with YouTube. There is stuff that only goes in there. So it's well worth, so the pro user interviews, for example, are not going anywhere else at the moment. So it's well worth you subscribing and keeping your eye on there just to see what's going on and when we're adding new content in. All of the new feature releases, David does a really nice little walkthrough showing you exactly how that works. So it's well worth subscribing to that channel. And of course, it's accessible for all of you that are using New Zenler and beyond. So there are our resources for you. Go and use them as you wish. Do take your time with them. You don't have to rush in if you're a new member and go and do everything all at once. The starting place is often with the webinar that Alice does. She does a new onboarding webinar. She's going to be doing onboarding with new members as well. And then the tutorial site and the quick start guide is your place to go first. The Facebook community where you are right now is awesome. We have loads of experienced members in here. We've hit over 7,000 members now. Last week we were just under, this week we're now over. So it's growing week on week, but it's not a place where you're gonna get lots of opinion, lots of support. But if you need to know what buttons to press to make stuff happen in your site, the tutorial site is the place to go and find that information out. Now, that leads me really nicely onto the next favorite part of mine of office hours. And it's still a reasonably new segment, but every week I look at this segment and I think, you know what, this is so useful for people, whether you've been with us for a couple of years or whether you're still only a few weeks into your Zenler experience. And this is the feature focus area where we go through one thing that you may have overlooked, you may not be using, or you may not fully understand. So, David, I'm going to hand over to you for this week's feature focus, please.
Brilliant, Kevin. Thank you. Okay, so this week, what I want to look at is how to actually put a PDF link into a blog. So not only can we put it into a blog, but we could put it into pages, you could put it into funnels, you could also tie it up in email automations. So this method works for everything. So I've got a blog here. At the bottom of this page, I've got a download for PDF link that I'm going to drop the link into. So I'm going to upload this in Media Library. And there's two things you need to look at when you upload a file into the system. Now, one is that file going to be public or is it going to be for only logged in users? You can make that decision and choose two options. And you're going to see that in a second. So if you do it for a blog post, which is obviously a public thing, you want to make sure that that link is available for everybody rather than just logged in users. This is probably the number one mistake that users make when they are accessing links from the media library on Zenler. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to upload a file. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to just upload this PDF that I've got on my desktop, which is here. Just a simple PDF, nothing special. We're going to let that upload. Click the button. 3 megabytes and bang, it's uploaded. So now I've got the file up here. You can see it in here. What I'm going to do to make this so it's a public viewable is I'm going to go into share, and where it says logged in users with this link can download, I'm going to change it to anyone with the link can download. Now I'm going to grab this link by copying this here and I'm going to click done. I'm going to then return to the blog post, and inside here, now I've copied that link, I can go and use the link. So I can insert a link. I'm going to say open in a new window and I'm going to drop that link in there that I just copied. Now I'm going to click insert and now that link is in there. I'm going to click update and now I'm going to come over to the page. I'm going to refresh this particular blog page. And what we have now is a download PDF link in there. Simple as that. Okay, back to you, Kevin. Quick one today.
Was a quick one, wasn't it? But it's still a useful one. And, you know, I think the blogging area is one that people are starting to explore a little bit more. I'm seeing more and more users using it. And of course, the more once you get past I need to put words on a page, you need to explore, well, actually, what else can I do with this? Putting images in, putting links in and all of that, and getting people moving around your site, getting people downloading stuff and all of that is what we want people to do stuff. We don't want them to just fall asleep when they come to your sites. We need them taking actions. And when you get them to take an action on a blog post, then they'll take an action in a lead funnel. They'll take an action on a cool sales page, etc., etc. The mindset starts to shift when they're in that environment. So that's a really useful one for people to look at. So thank you for that.
Yeah, Kevin, it's kind of like, you know, you've got to think outside the box with these things. You saw how quick it is to drop a link in there, but you can put links into funnels, automation. If you know that process, you've got two options, one in for logged in users and one for everybody. Make the decision, are they logged in? Then just give them the logged in link. And if they are public, then just give them the public link. You can put that link anywhere. And you saw how quick it was to do that. That's why this was a quick one this week. I wanted to show you how quick, lightning quick, it is to link up into a blog post with no problem.
Yeah, I think a lot of people ask about attaching a PDF onto an email. So again, you can do the exact same thing and can add a link to an email and send, rather than you can't really attach a PDF, but you can attach a link, add a link.
Yeah. So, and now you all know how to do it. So I'll expect you all to be coming back saying, yay, that worked. So awesome. Okay, let's head over to the chat this week then and see how busy you've all been asking your thousands of questions, which I know are going to come in. Where are we? So David's here with us. He's got a little bit of a sketchy internet, but he's got a question. So hopefully, David, you'll either hear us live or you'll pick this up on the replay. So your question, David, is about the breakout room limit 49. Is that for each live event? Is that a one-time setup or for each event?
Cool. Hey, David. Yeah, I think for each of your live events, so whenever you're creating a live class or webinar, it runs through New Zenler Zoom, and Zoom has the limit of, I think, around 50. It's not 49. I think it's around 50 for each live session that you set up. So you can create up to 50 rooms, I think.
Right, and how many? So the breakout room limit is 49 for that event. Yeah, so
50
that answers.
you can create. Yeah, I'll just send a link as well from the Zoom support document.
I'll be interested, David, to know what you're doing with 50 breakout rooms in your one Zoom event, because that's a bit of a monster of an event you're running now. So I'll be really interested to know exactly how and who you're using that for. But yeah, we'll get you the link for that so we can just clarify. Beth's here. So hi, Beth. Good to see you. Yeah, you're hearing us. That's fantastic. Okay, so happy with that. Right, we've got no more questions in at the moment. So if we've got no more questions in, I'm going to head back over. You wouldn't never exceed 20. Cool. I'm going to head back to David, and I'm going to get him to just show you through a little bit more in detail the quick start guide area. So when you're new into New Zenler and you head over to the tutorial site, I skirted over it a little bit earlier, but I just want to have a little bit more of an in-depth look in what that actually means for you as a new user for Zenler. So David, are you able to do that for us?
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Kevin. So as Kevin mentioned, tutorials.newzenler.com, and you're going to get access to our main page, our main portal page. But when you actually go through, you can sign up for the NZ Masterclass bundle. I'm logged in. So let me just go and open an incognito window just to show you what you would see if you were not logged in. So this is the start page. Come down here and enroll to this. And enrolling to this gives you access to this page. So you come into the course and you can search all our videos in here. So if you're interested in just quickly searching for a particular subject, remember sometimes these videos have got a series of videos. So when you do the search, it might be out of sequence, so be aware of that, because this is our complete video archive. So inside here, I could put something like funnels. Tends to be a popular one for me to type into here. And it basically brings up any of the transcripts that are in the video itself, and wherever the word funnel is, it comes up. So you can quickly find loads of videos that we've done where we've mentioned funnels. Probably a bit too many times. We've got funnels everywhere in here. Look, you can see how many videos we've done. So that's a really handy quick search for you. But as Kevin was mentioning, we have these areas here. So I'm going to say this is the place you should go, as Kevin mentioned already. If you enter this zone, if you're brand new to Zenler, you need to make sure that you take this quick start guide. It will take between 2 to 4 hours to complete it, depending on how quick you are. There's no rush. All this content is free. It's always accessible to you. So there's no rushing to go work you like mad to do it in 4 hours. You can take a week or a month. It's up to you. But this quick start guide takes you gently on how to create the site, how to set the actual site up, all the site settings. And it also shows you how to do a simple basic course. All right. So we've also got, at the same time, you can download this basic setup checklist. This is basically just a PDF. And inside that PDF, you've got little checkboxes. So our vision of you using it is to print it out or digitally sign it on your computer if you don't want to use up paper. And you can check off the things that you've done, so you know where you're up to. Now, we are building on this list, so the list might change. We'll probably do an announcement if we change it dramatically in the Facebook group, so you guys have already got it, can re-download it. And once you finish this quick start guide and this basic setup checklist, we then have this massive course. And this is our encyclopedia. It covers everything on Zenler, and there's a lot of content, whereas the quick start guide is nice and short. So if I go into the quick start guide now, you can go in here, there's a little bit of information, and then you just work your way through here. So it's getting prepared, quick tour of Zenler, setting the first site up, testing as a student, getting a course, testing, and should I do anything else, upgrading to pro, gives you a bit of information if you're a free user, and the next step, which is to carry on taking the training zones. So this is a really short course, this one, but when you finish that and you need additional information, because it could be on anything like embedding videos from YouTube or this sort of thing, you can go into the complete guide to Zenler and you will see this is a monster course. Don't let it put you off. We featured in here lots of ways of finding the information, and we expect you to cherry pick the information rather than work from the beginning right the way through, because as you will see, it's huge, right? So it's a big course. We keep going. So there's a lot of content. We cover everything in massive amounts of detail. So when you do take this, don't get overwhelmed. Use the search features inside there. And also we have other courses as well. So if we go back to the zones here, we've got marketing courses. This is all free for you, teach you basic marketing. Kevin's amazing 5-day blog challenge. I think that's what you should call it, Kevin. Zenler extras we've got in there. So these are copy, branding, hardware, Zenler theme packs for you to put in, and advanced ninja tricks, live workshops we run on Sundays. And then we've got Zenler boot camps, and these are Kevin's boot camps that he runs. So he's going to run some boot camps that appear inside here. So I think that's about it. Of course, we've got a YouTube channel. If you go to that, youtube.com/Steve/Zenler. And remember that inside here, you can just search for the videos that are on Zenler's channel. So you can come in here and you could type something like SSO, and then it would bring up anything with SSO, single sign-on, or funnels, or whatever you like. So remember, you can use that handy search feature inside of YouTube to find your videos, because we have a lot of videos on our YouTube channel, as Kevin mentioned, and some are only on here. Okay, Kevin, back to you.
Lovely. Thanks, David. A quick, deeper look into that. And if you're like me, you'll be sitting there thinking, I'm not going to do the quick start guide because I'm experienced and I'm going to just skirt through that bit. And I would warn you not to do that, because it does lead to frustration and you'll find yourself going back to it because you can't work out some of the basics that you need to understand. So even if you're an experienced course creator but new to this platform, it is well worth going through the quick start guide just to get those one-time setup things done. And then you can just carry on as you normally would, learning the other bits as you need to. So that's a really important one to remember. And we've done it so you don't get overwhelmed or frustrated, because we're fully aware that a lot of you are not web people, you're not web developers, you don't have a history in web development, and therefore you've got your courses and you just want it out on a platform that you're proud of. And therefore all of our training revolves around helping you, maybe that are not so technical, use this platform to the fullest extent that you want to use it for. And it all starts with that quick start guide. I can't emphasize how important it is. So don't be like me and skip it and go back 2 months later wishing I'd done it on day one. Do it now. Well, it wasn't available then, but it is now. So you're ahead of me already in learning that. Now, we are in the Facebook group, and the Facebook group, I do remind people every single week, this isn't a place for technical support. We do have a process for technical support, and it's really important that if your site isn't behaving how you think it should behave, as in you're pressing a button and something's not right, you can't log in, or something's gone wrong and you can't fix it. You've gone through the basic checks of making sure you're on Chrome, clearing your cache. It could be a localized issue. It could be something wrong with your internet. It could be something wrong with your PC. We don't know. It could be something that's wrong with the Zenler platform itself. The way to do this is not in the Facebook group and come in and say, look, this isn't working. It's all imploded. I can't operate this system. The way that we do it is we go through the singular support channel that will get you the answer the fastest, and that is via email. So support@zenler.com. If you can do a video recording of what your issue is, however you decide to do that, then send that in with your support request. What that does is it speeds up the technical team being able to see what the problem is rather than trying to decipher what you've written and replicate the issue to solve it. Because they may, if it's localized on your computer, then it's going to be almost impossible for them to be able to recreate it to tell you what the solution is. If you show them what you're seeing, then they'll have a much clearer understanding of what's going wrong, and they'll guide you in the right way. When you send that email off, you'll get a ticket number come back. And of course, it's done in number order. So please don't get frustrated if it takes more than 5 minutes for them to come back to you. The team are very busy. They're very diligent in the way that they operate. So they'll work in the order that it comes in. But providing you've got that ticket number returned to you via email, that means you're in the system and your query will be dealt with as soon as possible. If, of course, you're looking for other types of support, so you're looking for ideas or inspiration or anything like that, then the Facebook community is absolutely phenomenal. We've got very experienced course creators in here from all walks of life that are making a lot of money using Zenler, and also people that are very new to the whole world of online course creation. And everybody's willing to support each other emotionally or with advice or whatever. So use the community for the purpose that it's there for as a community. We don't have any more questions coming, so I'm going to start wrapping up now because we're coming towards the end of office hours. A couple of things from me this week to mention for you to take note of. We did Zen Chat Live on Monday. It was a phenomenal success. We used our breakout rooms. Everybody that went along absolutely loved it. It's running again a week on Monday, so do register for that if you want to come along. There is no charge for it, of course, because it is another area where we're sort of deepening those relationships as a community with you all to see if you want to get more involved, collaborations, etc., etc. And we're facilitating that for you. So do feel free to come along a week Monday. It's in the events tab of Facebook already, so you can go and get your name down for it. The second one for me is on the 19th next week. I've got Anne Morrison doing a confidence boot camp with me. So she's going to be leading that one. And if you're struggling with your confidence in being visible, putting your courses together, maybe being on camera a little bit, maybe there's a bit of imposter syndrome starting to creep in as your launch date comes forward, or you're just feeling really rather nervous about what you're trying to achieve, then this will be the boot camp for you. She's a master at helping people overcome these feelings. You're going to walk away with some practical techniques that are very, very simple and easy to implement. So you can have those in your back pocket that you can pull out whenever you start to get those feelings, and it will help you become a better course creator. So that's on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Again, it's in the events tab. We're running that live through Facebook. So just click that you're going. You don't need to register anywhere for that one. Just turn up on Tuesday. And you'll be able to see it. The replay will be up for a few days, then it will be taken out of Facebook and it will be put into the bootcamp area of the tutorial site. So you'll have to go over there after the end of next week to be able to view it if you can't view it live or you want to revisit it. That's my news for this week. So some exciting things coming up. David, what have we got from you for this week coming up? I can't hear you, David. You're muted.
David, your sound is off, I think.
Sorry. Yeah, on the 29th of October, we have a day with Zenler. So it's the last Friday of each month. We normally run that. So I'm just going to start to schedule what's going to happen in that. It's got some exciting things to come on that. Hopefully Alice can join us again and carry on with her Facebook marketing. Of course, we got Kevin on, so we never know what Kevin's going to do. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And Rakesh comes on with all the roadmap and stuff. So it's going to be brilliant. Also, I want to run some more live builds as well. So I'm going to just pick my victim. Sorry, I don't mean victim. I mean guinea pig for that. So that should be good as well. So I want to run that maybe towards the end of the week. And we're quite busy. We're doing a lot of stuff in the background. So there's going to be a lot of things changing. So whereas I normally run on Sundays, I run a live, I'm going to miss it this week, but I'm going to run another one next week. And it's probably going to be another open house because we're having a lot of new members coming to the live on Sundays. So I want to maybe even change the timing as well. So instead of 4 in the afternoon, I might do an early morning session to reach the kind of Australian market and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of things going. We're trying to sort things out. out, but there's a lot of things coming up as well from me and Kevin and all the team.
Rakesh, anything from you for this week?
Nothing else, but I think I'll just take a last question from David. David wants to know, is there a New Zenler page explaining the live features and limitations based depending on Pro or Premium? David, you get exact same features for Pro and Premium. All that is different is the number of attendees that you can register onto your live session. So that is 300 for Pro and 500 for Premium. There's absolutely no difference. It's fully featured.
Excellent.
Okay.
Now, remember, we are running every week. Alice is figureheading this, our webinars. So these are for people that may not yet be Zenler users. So if you're a partner of New Zenler and you want to give them an introduction into New Zenler, Alice is running them every Thursday afternoon, UK time. So look out for those. Get inviting your people, come along with your people if you wish to introduce them that way. Or for anybody else that is watching this and hasn't yet committed to New Zenler, you may want to come along and just understand the platform a little bit more. She's also going to be rolling out onboarding sessions very, very soon. So if you are brand new, as in you're a few days into this already and you've not had the opportunity for an onboarding session, then do reach out to the team, specifically Alice, and see if you can be one of the earlier people that get on to the onboarding sessions, because they're almost finalized now and they're going to be starting very, very soon. Ultimately, everybody that joins New Zenler as a pro user will get an onboarding session. That's the plan. So everybody's really, really looked after from day one. So, but in the meantime, whilst we're just working the few kinks out with things, if you're new and you've slipped through the net, you're a new pro user and you want to go through an onboarding session with Alice, then please do reach out to us and we'll make sure that that happens for you in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I've not seen any final questions come in, so that leaves me to wrap up for this week. Remember, next week we're at 10 a.m. BST. As I said right at the beginning, we do alternate times. We try and capture as many people around the world within a 2-week period live as we possibly can. So that means next week is the 10 o'clock shift for us all. So if you can make that, then that will be absolutely phenomenal. If not, we'll look forward to seeing you during the course of the next week. It may be on one of the boot camps, one of the live sessions, or just in the community. But whatever you're doing, enjoy using Zenler and being part of this amazing group. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.